In a world that often measures achievement by the speed of external validation, it's easy to overlook the profound influence of daily habits, internal mindset, and the environment we cultivate around ourselves. Many people believe that success stems solely from talent or luck, but the truth runs deeper. If you only do one significant task once a week, watch what happens to you. You might see some initial results, but soon you'll realize that consistency and commitment matter more than isolated bursts of effort. The biggest lie about motivation and how it affects your potential is the assumption that motivation must precede action, rather than the other way around. In reality, action often creates motivation, propelling us forward and fueling the drive we need to keep pushing through adversity. I tested a new routine for 7 days. My results: a surge in energy, heightened focus, and a clearer sense of purpose that made me question why I hadn't embraced that routine sooner. Yet, never try a complete lifestyle overhaul unless you're ready for these results. Discomfort, uncertainty, and the challenge of facing your own limitations. The journey of personal growth is often uncomfortable because it requires stepping out of the familiar and confronting the aspects of ourselves that hold us back. Why no one's telling you the truth about discipline might be because true discipline can feel unglamorous, lacking the instant gratification we crave. But discipline changed my life. Here's how it can change yours. It instills a sense of control over your decisions, allowing you to transcend excuses and seize each opportunity that aligns with your goals. Of course, there's a warning. This could ruin your complacency, your excuses, or your habitual comfort zone, so be prepared to embrace a new normal that demands more from you. The secret reason so many people keep failing at consistent self-improvement, and how to fix it, often lies in the tension between short-term gratification and long-term vision. Without the clarity of purpose and the resilience to persevere, we find ourselves repeating the same cycles, always searching for shortcuts that rarely exist. True success doesn't emerge from a single dramatic change, but from a series of small, deliberate steps taken with unwavering commitment. This introduction sets the stage for a deeper exploration into the mindset, habits, and environment that shape our destinies. If we accept that success is a reflection of who we become, then every thought, every choice, and every action holds transformative power. It's a realization both humbling and empowering, reminding us that the keys to a more fulfilling life are often within our reach, if only we have the courage to grasp them. As we delve further, we will discover how to harness that courage, turning grand aspirations into tangible realities through the deliberate process of self-discovery and growth. To understand this better, consider how people laughed when I tried waking up before dawn until something extraordinary happened. My productivity soared, my mental clarity sharpened, and I found extra hours each day to pursue what mattered most. Sometimes, it takes a small leap of faith to unlock potential you never realized you had. In the pages that follow, we will examine the subtle yet powerful shifts that elevate ordinary routines into catalysts for transformation. We will look at why setting clear intentions, cultivating discipline, and fostering a growth-oriented mindset can propel you from mere wishful thinking to concrete, lasting achievements. In this world brimming with distractions and noise, it is all too easy to lose sight of what truly drives us. Yet, by exploring the foundational principles of self-mastery, and the way these principles integrate into our everyday lives, we can learn to stand firm, adapt, and ultimately thrive. This exploration is not merely theoretical. It is rooted in actionable strategies and timeless truths that have guided countless individuals toward higher levels of fulfillment. With that said, our journey begins here. a shared commitment to unearth our latent potential, to break free from limiting beliefs, and to step boldly into a future defined not by chance but by choice. At this juncture, it becomes imperative to explore how deeper strategies, such as clarity of vision, consistent effort, and mindful adaptation, converge to shape lasting success. I asked 100 experts about the essence of goal setting. Here's what they said. Nearly all emphasized the critical importance of specificity and emotional resonance. In other words, a vague ambition like wanting to be successful carries far less motivational weight than a precise, passion-fueled target that resonates deeply with your core values. This underscores a fundamental principle. The more clearly you define what you seek, the more powerfully you will act in its pursuit. Consider how illusions of quick fixes lure people into complacency. 3 shocking facts about overnight success no one told you are that it is often preceded by years of unseen effort, fueled by countless moments of and sustained by relentless perseverance that few are willing to maintain. The reality is that success rarely happens by accident. It demands a level of commitment that many underestimate. Is impatience killing your motivation or boosting it? That depends on whether you harness that urgency to fuel disciplined action or allow it to devolve into frustration. What everyone gets wrong about relentless ambition, it's not about working yourself to the bone. Is that true ambition requires balance, strategy, and the wisdom to know when to rest. To see how this principle plays out in the real world, observe how actual breakthroughs occur. They are often the culmination of consistent small wins that build upon each other over time, rather than a single moment of grand revelation. How progress actually works, and why it matters for your long-term fulfillment, is a process of gradual, compounding improvements that accumulate until a tipping point is reached. This concept of incremental gains can be life-changing if applied systematically. Yet many people overlook it in their quest for instant gratification. I wish I knew before doing everything the hard way that the real challenge is not in finding the path, but in staying on it through adversity, setbacks, and the temptation to settle for less than your potential. It's done. I broke the rules of conventional thinking about career progression and personal development. Instead of focusing on short-term markers like promotions or accolades, I centered my strategy on acquiring skills that would serve me in any environment. This is how I survived the inevitable moments of stagnation, by continuously evolving and learning to adapt. As a result, I discovered that when you have a broad, transferable skill set, you become resilient in the face of shifting circumstances. This one trick, with deliberate practice, saved my confidence when challenges mounted, because it reminded me that growth is a lifelong journey, not a destination. You're missing out if you aren't trying to consistently refine your craft, whether it's public speaking, writing, coding, or any other skill that aligns with your ambitions. In a rapidly changing world, those who commit to ongoing self-improvement remain relevant, while those who cling to outdated methods risk being left behind. The real reason I keep starting from zero in certain aspects of my life is not a sign of failure, but a conscious choice to dismantle complacency. There is an undeniable power in embracing the beginner's mindset, in letting go of rigid expectations and remaining open to new possibilities. Here's how I turned a near-total setback from zero into a platform for reinvention. I analyzed what went wrong, identified the habits and assumptions that led me astray, and then rebuilt a foundation grounded in clarity, discipline, and genuine passion. Rebuilding from scratch can be humbling, but it can also be liberating, because it strips away the clutter and forces you to refocus on what truly matters. Now, What I do every morning, every time, is revisit my core objectives, reaffirm the habits that support them, and visualize the outcomes I aim to create. This ritual, though simple, anchors my day in purpose, reminding me that even small actions can have a profound impact over time. Never trust shortcuts unless you're ready to accept the hollow victories they bring. While a shortcut might promise rapid progress, it often bypasses the character-building struggles that define true mastery. The same principle applies to relationships, careers, and personal growth. Anything built on a shaky foundation rarely endures. Stop doing the important work the hard way. Try this instead. Break down your overarching goals into manageable tasks. Implement a system to track your progress, and hold yourself accountable with regular reviews. This approach transforms daunting projects into achievable milestones, each one reinforcing your sense of capability and motivation. If we look at the broader picture, we begin to see how identity shapes destiny. The statement, "Who you become shapes your destiny," resonates in every facet of life. Your habits, choices, and thoughts are indeed the paintbrushes that bring your aspirations to life. Each stroke may seem inconsequential in isolation, but together they form the masterpiece of your future. It's essential, then, to remain conscious of how each decision aligns with your broader vision. Equally important is understanding that no one is immune to failure or setback. The difference lies in how you respond when adversity strikes. Some will view it as a roadblock, while others see it as an opportunity to pivot, learn, and come back stronger. The latter perspective fosters resilience, a trait indispensable for anyone aiming to reach a level of excellence that stands the test of time. Finally, the environment you create around yourself plays a pivotal role in sustaining your progress. If you surround yourself with individuals who embody the principles you value, you will find it far easier to maintain your momentum. Conversely, a toxic or uninspiring environment can drain your energy and derail even the most carefully laid plans. Curate your influences wisely. Seek out mentors who challenge you to elevate your game, and remain vigilant about the subtle messages you absorb daily. Over time, these influences accumulate, shaping not only your mindset, but also your behavior and, ultimately, your results. The development of success, then, is not a singular event, but a multifaceted process requiring patience, self-awareness, and a readiness to learn from every experience. Each principle discussed here forms a piece of a larger puzzle. The threads of discipline, mindset, environment, and consistent action weave together to create a tapestry of achievement that is both deeply personal and universally applicable. Embrace these principles with an open heart and an open mind, and you will find yourself steadily evolving into the person you have always had the capacity to become. In that transformation lies the true meaning of success, not merely the attainment of external markers, but the cultivation of a life that resonates with your highest ideals and aspirations. Indeed, many people become so fixated on external accolades that they lose sight of the inner work required to sustain them. They may reach a certain level of recognition or financial stability, only to discover that they lack the resilience or clarity to handle the accompanying pressures. This is why focusing on the process rather than the outcome is essential. By placing your attention on incremental improvements, consistent habits, and a willingness to adapt, you develop the fortitude to navigate both the highs and lows. Over time, this approach cultivates a form of self-trust that no external validation can replicate. It is the quiet confidence of knowing that you can confront new challenges with creativity and tenacity. precisely because you have honed those qualities through deliberate practice. This perspective also reframes failure. Instead of viewing setbacks as insurmountable roadblocks, you begin to see them as opportunities to refine your strategy and deepen your resolve. Every misstep contains a lesson, every disappointment a chance to build emotional and mental strength. While it may be tempting to succumb to discouragement, true growth often happens in these moments of vulnerability. By treating failure as a teacher rather than an enemy, you liberate yourself from the fear of making mistakes, granting you the freedom to explore new ideas, take calculated risks, and expand the boundaries of what you once believed possible. As you stand at the threshold of your next chapter, remember that every day offers a fresh canvas upon which to paint the life you desire. Your thoughts and behaviors are the brushstrokes that give shape to your aspirations. You have the power to direct this creative process, to choose colors that reflect your passions and outlines that define your character. By harnessing discipline, embracing a mindset of continuous learning, and daring to act, you transform possibility into reality. You become the architect of your future, guided by principles that not only lead to external accomplishments, but also foster deep internal fulfillment. In this sense, success is not a destination but a lifestyle, a set of habits, perspectives, and values that govern the way you approach each day. When you align these elements with your highest ideals, you find that success follows naturally, no longer something to be chased, but something you naturally attract. This is the ultimate triumph, to live in such harmony with your purpose that achievement becomes a byproduct of who you are. May you carry these insights forward, confident in your capacity to adapt, learn, and grow, and resolute in your pursuit of a life that resonates with your deepest aspirations. The future beckons, and it is yours to shape. Embrace it fully, and let the journey itself be your greatest reward.